Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What is this hogwash? Lanooski, I hear you asking. My dude, my homie, what the fuck is this phoned in fuckery? I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, I do know. You're just jealous of my genius. I have innovated an entirely original, not at all derivative of other animation channels, methods of getting content out faster, just in a bit more of an even more phoned in fashion. You're jealous, all of you. I'm not gonna do this the whole time though. That would be cruel. That would be pretending that I don't at least know how to pretty it up. We want you to know that the legacy titler, I like to say titler actually, we want you to know that the legacy titler will be retiring in Adobe Premiere Pro. Most of its capabilities and some really cool new ones are already available in the Essential Graphics panel. In the coming months, we will be addressing remaining gaps to ensure that you have the tools you need. I have all the tools I need right here. I do not care about your hoity-toity new age bullshit in the graphics tablet. I tried using it a couple of times. Yeah, there's some shit that's like right there that you would ordinarily have to like dig in for. The problem is, we've been using this for over a decade now. This layout, this PowerPoint condensed layout that I much prefer. Why am I using text here? I don't want text. Control Z. I am more than content using this. When they say retire, I consider that a major wee-woo, because I don't know if it just means we're going to stop updating this particular function, or if they're just going to remove it entirely, regardless of whether or not people still use it. There's not a whole lot to lose by keeping it in there, in my opinion, and I'm not even like a programmer of any kind. Yeah, but if we leave this in here, we won't have enough room in the program in order to add hand gesture motions. It'll be the way of the future. Uh-huh. Anyway, here's my sick reveal. Boom. So now I have a green screen. Whoops. I have a green screen. Now I can just doink myself into another place. Like maybe the set from the Bo Burnham video that I'm not using. I haven't used it since. This is a good time to bring it back, I think. I'm pretty proud with how that turned out. It looks pretty, even though it's messy as shit. It is still a vibe. And doink, doink, doink. Doink, 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 doink. So this is an update. I'm sorry for how quiet it's been on this channel as of late. The holidays are typically pretty busy for me. Even more so this year because on top of it being the holidays, I also continue my not at all unhealthy habit of saying yes to too many goddamn things whilst wanting to make content. I've had something most of the way done for like 2 months now. It is a follow-up to my polite bigotry video that may or may not be about a certain stand-up comedian who got into some hot water not too long ago. To protect the innocent, let's call him Shavid DePel. Shavid DePel needs to be brought down a few pegs. And my video, which again is like 80% done, maybe even 90, it does that in my opinion. But I've also got a vlog that I've been sitting on the raw materials for half a fucking year. As I say this out loud, I'm actually being reminded of my Dr. Dog video, which at the end of the day, I'm pretty proud of. I still recorded that in like March or April of last year and didn't drop it until October later that year. That's wild to me. I've been better. I've definitely been better, taken a much needed break from social media, which probably would help me if I wasn't so goddamn busy. Busy with freelance. I'm a freelancer. Can't stop, won't stop. Grind set, make that money, even though you don't necessarily have to, given your current living situation, even though you'd have a steady enough gig that may be seasonal. It may make people ask, hey, what are you doing right now since the place you work at isn't happening right now? When I could just be saying, YouTube, and then just powering through the questions of, oh, do you make money off of that? And then saying, no, not really. But I could one day if I just like can't stop, won't stop long enough that it might actually amount to something, keep momentum going. Because I've hit some pretty good stretches where I was like consistently getting stuff out. Remember when I was a commentatorman in the way back times of 2019? I had the Staffo thumbnails, I had the RDJ, I had Rebecca Black, complimentary lighting, red and blue lights. That was cool. That was real cool. I looked like I knew what I was doing. I was following that cloud, following that I was getting that bread, boy. I had the microphone. I was talking the talk. I was spilling the tea. I was giving the hot takes. Like, I can do that. It's just not long after getting into that kind of rhythm, I just arbitrarily decide, you know what? I'm not working enough. I'm not doing enough things that aren't this that I can bitch about later for getting in the way of making stuff. I'm not setting myself up for failure enough. So what would help is taking on multiple freelance clients. Speaking of which, I did kind of want this to be an excuse to like just drop some clips that I've been holding on to, some of which wouldn't really contribute much, kind of like this one right here. Padding. I'm going to hit the 10-minute mark with this, and I wasn't even trying to do that initially, but the fact that I can, bam, pog. Oh, there's my head. So on top of my normie non-YouTuber clients that I'm working with, who are honestly a bit of a godsend, because that way, at least whatever I'm working on isn't adjacent to like pedophilia or, I don't know, the misdoings in air quotes of people who are 20 times richer than most of the people I know IRL, fucking up somehow or being disingenuous. Are they? They're a hypocrite. They do one thing and say another thing is bad. Come on, lovelies, let's talk about the tea. Like, that shit just, I don't know. I can't deal with that shit for very long before I start getting like real cynical and like doomer. So it's good to have those IRL clients who just talk about stuff that they like in like very trad media fashion. Like, it's fine. It's good. It's fun. I have an on and off podcast stint that's actually really chill, and they talk about movies that I have never watched and still haven't watched. I think the biggest client that I've scored recently is Dylan Burns, a PolitiStreamer, hosts the Hippy Dippy Roundtable, where people of varying political persuasions go on to duke it out, to argue, to debate. Debate bros, they watch out for the debate bros. Debate bro, very not based. Editing and Twitter talking, that's based. Being a debate bro, he's not based. Anyway, he's more debate bro-y than anyone I've ever edited for, and I'm happy to have been editing some shit for him because I think he does a decent job. We agree on like a good chunk of things, maybe not everything, but a good chunk of things. And they appreciate me enough over there to let me go hog wild on some memes, some rich memes involving some very silly people who have too much power. More filler, roll it. Here's what I've been doing over there.
And now Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein is getting closer and closer and closer. And it seems now not only that, but he had possibly a relationship, even if it was just a casual relationship like they just met the person, with Epstein's victims while they were minors, 14 years old. They don't just need to be snorting cocaine right now to be getting by. They need to be having like IV bags injected into their arm to have a constant supply of copium just going into their system.
So yeah. Doing too much. Not enough of my own thing, but hey, money is money. Stack that bread. Keep this up and maybe you won't live at your parents' house in the next 2.5 years. Haven't been saying that for like 5 years now. This is probably the part where some of y'all are going to have the impulse to be like, decent people and go into my comments and just be like, hey man, always here if you want to talk, just keep it up. This too shall pass. And ordinarily I would appreciate it. Don't feel like you have to. This is such a like rigmarole. This is such a like recurring thing for me that I know I'll survive it. I need to be a fucking cynic for a little bit. Yeah, so all this to say, I'm not dead. Although some days it certainly feels like it. I have stuff I want to get out. We'll see if it's by the end of the year. Wanted it to be, probably won't be now. No guarantees. I will see y'all when I see y'all. expect a shaved dapple upload first, and then hopefully some Bo Burnham related shit. Maybe I can capitalize off of that before nobody's talking about Inside anymore. I'll probably lay some like unused lo-fi recordings underneath this. Another desire of mine is to like make an album out of a lot of them shits, but that would involve effort. We'll fucking see. Who knows? Who knows, guys? Who knows what's to happen in the next like month or two? Who knows? I certainly don't. Bye.